And we're live. Dad's unfiltered. What's up, buddy?
Not much. What's going on? Anything new?
Same old shit. Just
Another
different
day.
toilet paper. That one's courtesy of my brother. He always says that.
All right. It's the first time I've heard that, actually.
How's football practice?
It's good. It's good. Mikey's pretty much playing linebacker on
This little
offense.
ass is a linebacker?
Yeah.
What the? I thought they had pretty big kids on your team.
There are some, but like some of the bigger ones, like one's the quarterback, and it's not that many kids that are that much bigger than him, just a few.
He's pretty tall, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Compared to the kids?
No, because he's playing 9-10, so he's 9. He's I mean, he probably would be better at like corner or something, but he's just not there yet.
No.
Linebacker's a little. He can catch people and he can get to people. Like line, he's just not big enough for that, obviously. Offense, I don't know what he's gonna do yet.
Now, do they play both sides?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm sure.
So what's he play on offense?
I don't know yet. Probably he's learning. Like he's learning. So right now they haven't practiced on the line some.
Really?
Yeah, but that's not. I just don't see that happening.
No, he's not big enough for that.
He wants to play wide receiver, but the problem is when I run routes with him at home, he catches the ball. And then at football, he does too, but not as consistent.
Yeah.
Like it's, there's a lot more pressure.
It almost sounds like he would be a good DB.
Yeah.
But
you never know. I mean, there's still time. It's really hard to say at this point.
Because isn't that the old saying? A DB is just a receiver that can't catch.
Well, but they're kind of moving him around. A lot of the kids, they're moving him around still.
Yeah, he'll find his home.
Mm-hmm. No, he's going.
I always got stuck on the line because of my size, so that was
right.
You know what I mean? But
makes sense. I wouldn't mind that if he was bigger.
I didn't mind playing on defense, but playing offensive line just kind of, I don't know.
I also think he likes defense a lot better. I think he likes being the one that's tackling someone and not the one that being tackled.
Right. That's what offensive line just seemed boring to me. It didn't hold my attention. There's not any glamour in it.
Yeah, he gets to the guy. He's still tackling a little high.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to get down low and like pick them up, Yeah.
Lifts,
like hitting up. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's almost natural just to try to grab them up high, and that's not.
No, yeah. I mean, do they work with them? Teach them?
Yeah, they don't give them a ton of one-on-one time.
No.
I'd
have drills and stuff. They teach form tackling.
Well, they
like that.
They do that. I'm not saying they don't. They are doing that, but like one-on-one, I'm practicing with them at like during the day and stuff.
Well, isn't that the responsibility of a parent, though, too?
I guess.
You're supposed to work with them in your own time, too.
I think so, too. But if you really look, when you look around the field, there's only maybe 5 parents there, and everyone else just drops their kids off and leaves.
Yeah. Right.
But I try to be a better parent.
Yeah, I would always, like, my kids play soccer. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know anything about soccer, but I pick up watching practice and stuff. So I know, what kind of drills and stuff they're running. And
exactly.
So,
well, football. I know like watching football, but there's a lot of drills and like specifically how to tackle like the correct way.
Right.
I don't necessarily know all that, but I'm learning just by watching them.
Right.
But it is amazing how many parents don't
even care. Don't even stay to watch. Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a
it's
babysitting type thing.
right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. Especially football because it's 4 days a week, 2 hours a day.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a lot.
It's time consuming. It definitely is.
Yeah. I don't mind it, honestly. I don't mind
Yeah.
watching. Especially because you do see like every day each kid's getting better and better. Especially Mikey,
Right.
like especially because he didn't know anything. And just one day, if he on a certain drill, he's not as good, and then the next day he's almost got it.
I think it's entertaining too.
Yeah,
to watch him.
There's a couple kids getting hurt already though.
Yeah.
One kid has a cast on his arm or his wrist. Mikey yesterday, he actually missed practice. He had a migraine, and then he still went, and we were gonna he wanted to still watch and stuff, but then he threw up. So he gets migraines it's like once a month, it seems.
Well, I know the weather's kind of changed a little bit. That's what I had, like a little sinus infection going on. So
feeling better.
Yeah, my throat's still a little scratchy, but I swear I told Rochelle too, and her being a nurse, she don't believe me, but alcohol fixes it, I think. I don't know why. I heard old guys say that, take a couple of shots of whiskey or something, it'll clear you up.
My dad used
truly believe that.
My dad used to tell me that.
Yep.
I never did it. That's what he used to tell me.
So, at the very least, it makes you feel better. At least, it takes away from the. Because I never realized how much a sinus infection actually infects you. Like it makes you feel like shit.
Right.
Not doing anything. Not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Throws your like equilibrium off, and
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world these days. This last week or so, seems, since we've podcast last.
True that.
So, I don't know. I personally try to stay away from like news and even social media at times lately.
It's
so you probably know a little more about what's going on.
Yeah, I guess it kind of pisses you off.
I guess we'll start off talking about Charleston. Is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm sure everybody knows what happened in Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want to start out by saying something and pointing something out to somebody or some people. I pulled up the definition of racism here. I'm going to share it here in a second.
Okay.
Because I think I'm not condoning anybody or saying that I believe in certain people's views.
Mm-hmm.
But here, can you see it?
Yeah.
It's pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
So, the definition of racism: prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think too often that word racism is thrown around loosely about everything. You can't say anything anymore without it being racist. We've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
My kids come home, like I said, my kids' best friends are black and one is Puerto Rican. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've taught my kids to love everyone, no matter what color they are or if they're gay, straight, whatever. And I hate when my kids come home and try to tell me a story or talk about something that happened in class. And they say these words first. I'm not trying to be racist. And then they go on with their story. It's not racist. Like the things they're saying, it's like, I don't know if it's getting passed on through school or things they're seeing, you know, in the news or things like that. But it's just getting out of hand. Everything is not racist.
Yeah. Well, obviously, no. You have to be able to have to fix everything. You're never gonna fix everything, but to get ahead, you have to be able to talk. You can't
Right.
ignore everything.
And that's why I think the problem is, like, right away, as soon as an issue comes up, everybody starts screaming racism. And my first reaction is I get defensive and I don't even want to hear it no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And I think a lot of people are that way because they're just sick of hearing it.
See like, a Facebook post from someone, and it's just like, you just, even if it's right, even if he's right, but the way they say it or whatever, it's like you get defensive.
It's like we have to defend ourselves being a white American these days. Like, just because we're white, we're on the defensive.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have anything to do with slavery, or I'm pretty sure my ancestors didn't. I come from
let's talk about Charleston then, because from what I seen, and I didn't see much, but the protest started off as a protest.
Okay, so those white supremacists, that's what I'm going to call them, because
that's what I would call them.
Clearly they were there. They're not, they're racist. I'm not going to argue that. That's not what I'm arguing. But in America, we have the freedom of speech, the freedom to protest. Okay, so whether you believe in what they're saying or agree with it, they have that right. They pulled the proper permits to have their march. They did everything legally.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with it. There is hateful people in this world.
Right, but it did start off peaceful, right? Like they were actually protesting the statue getting taken down, but there was no violence at first.
From what I'm understanding, yes. It started as that group was there to say whatever they had to say.
And that's what I saw too. And then once the media covered it, everyone found out about it, and then the other side goes and fights them. Right?
Anti.
And that's why Trump's getting a lot of blame, because he's saying it's both sides.
And I agree with him 100%.
No, I agree. And it would be like,
what's that?
I agree with that too. I'm not saying I don't know, but it'd be like a Black Lives Matter protest, and then say the other side that don't agree with that go in there and start shit with them. Right. Thankfully, that doesn't really happen.
Right.
They get to protest and no one bothers them.
Because everybody's afraid to.
Right. In the case of Baltimore, they rioted on their own. There was nothing that started that.
Well,
it was a whole different situation. It's a whole different situation. I'm saying, but it wasn't another side coming there and starting fights, and then it turned into a riot.
Right.
Where in this case, they were protesting, and like you said, I don't agree with what they were. I don't agree with any of it, honestly. But you have that freedom.
As Americans, they have that freedom.
Right.
And that's I call them social justice warriors when they get involved in everything. And you can't have I'm just gonna go a little bit away from race, and I'm gonna go to like the gay rights and the LGBTQ whatever.
All right.
I don't know what all the letters are anymore.
LGBTQ.
Okay, these people want us to accept them for who they are, no matter what our beliefs are. You know what I mean? And I do. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a dude and you want to become a girl, have at it. I don't care. But you can't ask for people to accept you for things, for the way you want to live your life, and then get mad at other people because they have their own views.
Right.
You can't stop people from having their own views.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you can't.
Even though if it's hateful, you can't stop them.
Right.
That's their view. That's the way they want to live their life.
Yeah.
Is that making sense? Or
Yeah.
am I?
No, you're right. That's true. Whether you agree with it, I mean, it's first off, it depends on how you grow up, because that people do. You are who you what you're around.
Right.
So
Yeah, you're not born racist. It's embedded in you.
maybe I don't know.
Genetically.
I don't know. I mean, you look at we're not just our country's a unique country. Other countries have a lot of different ethnicities all together, but and throughout history, most you kind of stay to your own, right?
I guess we tend to.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm not, So throughout history, I think racism has existed.
And it's going to exist forever. It's never going to go away. As long as there's somebody different than you, you're going to look at them differently.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
A lot of this is why I looked up the definition of racism yesterday, because I see a lot of Black people say that they can't be racist. I'm sure you've heard that, right?
Right.
And that makes no sense.
Like a minority can't be racist.
Right, because
yes.
Minority, and they were less shit. I don't know. Because of slavery and all that other shit.
Right.
I don't agree with it because that makes no sense to me at all.
Slavery, which none of us had anything to do with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that whole argument, like, my ancestors are Italian, Irish. They were slaves too when they came here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm Irish and half Jewish. So
you
half Jewish. I mean, everyone knows the story already.
And it's mind-boggling, man. I just don't get it.
Well, I think the media has a big, especially with what just happened. I really blame them for a lot of this shit. And anything they can use against Trump, they're going to.
Yeah.
Right.
And okay, part of me with what he came out and said the first time, where he didn't name anybody, didn't point the finger at a certain, like he didn't say white supremacist groups or whatever they were.
He's not scared to go out there and say radical Islam, but when it came to that, he wouldn't call them what they were.
At first thought, I was like, dude, come on. You know what I mean? You got to be the man here and bring us back together. And, even though they had the right to do what they did, the freedom of speech and to protest and things like that, it's still not right. And you can still call them out on it. Right?
Yeah.
At first thought, I kind of agreed with people. He should have said something. And then I thought about it a little more. And I don't know if he's this smart. I don't want to give him too much credit. But if you start calling these people out by name and giving them credit for stuff, doesn't that play into their whole agenda? Saying?
What, like
making them more popular? The publicity that they want, aren't they winning? Does that make them?
I guess, except for the media was already talking about them so much that him saying something wasn't going to change anything.
Yeah, but who's the most influential voice in America right now? Wouldn't the president be?
Yeah.
Isn't that why everybody's mad at him? Because he didn't come out and use his power to call these people out. And
that's why they were mad at him at first, and then he came out and said it the next day, I guess. Right?
Yeah, because he's backtracking.
And then the day after that, he said, "I blame both sides,"
which I agree with him.
Right? No, I do too, and
I agree with that. If they would have let those people just have their protest and go on the way, I don't think any of this shit would have happened. That girl wouldn't have died.
No, that either the statue would have got taken down or not, and everything would have went away.
Right. But like you said, the media plays into this shit. They love it. It gives them stories and coverage for weeks and weeks and weeks.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's all a fucking game. And people don't understand that.
I was thinking that, today they had the terrorist attack in where was it? Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah. In a way, it's terrible to say, but don't you think, like, in a way, you're almost like, phew, some of this fucking publicity is going on. From all the shit that's going on, it's a distraction.
Right.
I don't think that's how they think. Well, you never fucking know. But
who knows?
But then
they're trying to divide us for some reason. And this is the way I look at it. They're trying to divide us for some reason. I don't know why, but it just seems.
But it's all the whole left. It's not just black people that are going after. No. It's what a lot of white people are attacking them. Like all the celebrities, every fucking buddy. If you go against that, you're racist. Even if you're not racist, you're fucking racist for saying that. Or thinking a certain way, like agreeing with Trump that both sides came together and fought because this side came to fight them.
Yeah.
So
and it's like a piece I read today about I think it was Alan West I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
He even said, he's like, why did the cops or the people in charge even let those I don't know what it was, the Black Lives Matter and that, what's that other one, the A?
I saw the name around. I don't really even know what they are.
It's like an anti-racism group.
Is that what they are?
Why were they even allowed near? They didn't have permits and stuff. Why were they allowed near this other rally that was doing everything legitimately, had their permits, was allowed to be there?
If there's a Black Lives Matter protest, are other groups allowed to come to protest it? You're allowed. Freedom of speech would allow you to go there, right?
Yeah, but there's certain steps you have to take to do it legally. You have to pull permits.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't know
because you're shutting down streets and things like that. You have to pull permits. Like anytime my union would go do something, we have to pull a permit.
Okay. I didn't know
to occupy a space. We're saying we're going to protest.
But
like they've had rallies in front of like a congressman's office. You have to pull a permit to be there.
Right, but there's a lot of protests that end up shutting down roads where they definitely didn't, where they're shutting down highways illegal, but they're.
And they want to say, this is my biggest thing. I'm not right or left. I pull things from both sides. I like to think freely of myself, and
I think everyone should.
Issues, and
I think when you
go with what my heart says on certain issues. I identify with either, but you can't make a blanket statement and say, "Oh, the right is racist. Everybody on the right is racist." It's not true. Yeah, there might be some groups on the right that are racist, but not everybody is a racist.
I guess. No. Yeah. Yes. I don't have these kids under control. Yeah. I was listening to the very end.
Those are the statements that just bug me the most when they just group everybody together. Everybody on the right is a racist.
Yeah.
All Trump supporters are racist,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
Maybe Donald Trump is a racist. I don't know.
Man, what?
What's in his heart, but
it's possible. He's an old man.
But I'd like to think he's not. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Well, I would like to think so too. And really nothing he said has actually been very racist. People just don't.
I mean, they do make some good points that he's afraid, and I do feel that way sometimes. He's afraid to go against his base.
Yeah. At this point, don't you think that the left's going to attack him for any fucking thing? And you know how happy they are that this is happening? Because apparently these white supremacy groups have protested for years now. It's not like this is the first time they've ever done this. It's happened through Obama's presidency, but you don't hear about it. But with Trump in office, they see this and they're like, "Oh shit, we can attack the hell out of him right now."
Yeah,
we got him.
They're just looking.
People are calling for impeachment right now just because of this. Whether he is or not, they don't care. They just want to attack him because they didn't like him from the beginning. And the whole left and right thing, I think that's the biggest problem is the people that are so far right and the people that are so far left is
Well,
like
it's like
they're the ones
it's
that
got,
tear everything apart, like separate everything.
right,
When I don't even think those people actually believe half the shit they're saying.
right.
And if they
And
do,
that's
they're
how it
just
is.
fucked up.
If you identify right, you're ride or die. Or if you identify left, you're ride or die. Even if you don't agree, you still, you know what I mean? That's how it's become. That's what it's become. Nobody
maybe
thinks for themselves anymore. It's just like,
maybe it's always been that way, but now that with the internet, with social media, with Donald Trump, that's like kind of like a celebrity. People are really paying, and because so many people hate him. I feel like people are paying way more attention than they ever did before.
right.
So I don't know.
Well,
But then they started tearing these statues down. And what do you think about that? Like Maryland, we live right next to. I'm in PA, right beside Maryland. They tore it overnight. They took the statues down when no one knew about it.
Baltimore. Yeah.
And
I don't agree with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's history, and it just shows you like.
All right. Let me use this argument then. If it's history, you don't want to forget about it, right?
Right.
But with slavery, you tell, well, not you, but a lot of white people are like, oh, just get over it and forget about it. It was years ago. Fuck it. None of us were involved. Forget about it.
But
You're
these
telling
are the things that fucking molded America. These are the things that happened to make America what it is today. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't erase history. I'm not saying I get what you're saying about that's the argument a lot. Just get over it. We didn't have anything to do with it. But you can't erase history. These events are what made America what it is today. Like,
right.
You can't just take that away.
So then you can't tell black people that we weren't involved, that it was our families.
But we weren't involved.
Right.
Maybe our families were, but it still happened. And we've moved on. I'd like to think we've made progress since then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand the point of tearing down the statues.
I mean, I'm not
really that.
I'm not from the South, so these people that are from the South really hold on to that fucking flag. Like they really, really, it means something to them. To me, it means nothing. Honestly,
No.
To me, they were the losing side. Fuck them, because I'm from the North anyway. I really, it's like a participation trophy.
Let me ask you this. And now we can't answer this truly because we're not. Does that statue being there really cause somebody emotional issues? Like they walk past and say, "Oh my gosh, there's Robert E. Lee."
I think most people don't even fucking know what it meant.
Right.
It just gives them.
And that war was fought. That wasn't just about slavery. There was a lot more to that war. If you read up on it, I'm not going to go into it because I don't know.
Well, Courtney looked
expert, but
Courtney looked up because I had that argument with Courtney yesterday where I said, "Well, you can't tell them to get over what I just said," but she said she looked up with that statue, one of the statues of the people, and it really had nothing to do with any of that shit,
right?
Like
it's ridiculous.
Like the meaning behind it and the actual whatever that person did. I don't know the facts, but whatever they did had nothing to do with race. It was actually like good stuff.
Right.
Supposedly.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think you should be sneaky and fucking take it down overnight.
I just think it's history. It's just
no. I agree.
It's gone too far, is what I think.
Yeah, we might as well get fucking rid of everything. Like that's what Trump said, though. He said, "All right, well, George Washington had slaves, so should we get rid of his monument?"
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw something today. They're like, "Well, two of the presidents on Mount Rushmore had owned slaves. Let's tear them down." Martin Luther King, he was against gay marriage. Let's get rid of his statues.
Was he against?
Where does it end? It's fucking ridiculous.
Right. Get rid of Everything basically is whatever. I mean, isn't that the problem? Everyone's so fucking sensitive now, so soft, so
That's why. That's the problem with this fucking country. These motherfuckers. I
it is
swear to
fucked
God.
up. Like a statue, whether you agree with it or not. Like you go to Gettysburg, right? I don't know,
Right.
and you see the different statues, and it's not necessarily that they're celebrating. I mean, maybe they are, but it's telling you the story. It's not necessarily just celebrating that person.
Exactly. That's what I'm
There
saying.
is a story behind it.
Those are events are what made America what it is today. You know what I mean?
It's true.
All those Robert E. Lee, all those people that fought in the Confederate Army are American soldiers. You know what I mean? They're veterans.
Yeah.
I think it's a slap in the face to our ancestors. And
right. I look at it. I guess I see. I don't. To me, the way I look at it, honestly, and I know there's more to the war than this, but the way I look at it is the South fought to keep slavery, right? And I know there's way more to it than that.
Yeah,
they fucking lost, and these people are holding on to something that. But I'm not right because, like you said, just like Gettysburg, I've gone to Gettysburg. You see all this stuff. And it's not even about whose side you agree with. It's just about learning and about all these different people and what actually happened.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Everyone's fucking soft. It's pretty fucking crazy, really.
All these fucking social justice warriors, man, they crack me up.
And it's more to them than even like black people complaining about it, I think.
Right. Yeah. You saw when they ripped down that statue and you see all these little
white people kicking it and stuff.
Kicking it like that's like, dude, come on. Oh my gosh, it drives me nuts.
I follow Anthony Cumia, the guy that's on the Chip podcast a lot of times, the co-host. And I could tell he's right. But he had a lot of good comments that like made a lot of sense to me. Did you hear that the CNN guy? I didn't even watch it. I just saw the headline. So I shouldn't even probably bring it up. That Wolf Blitzer said that the thing that happened in Barcelona was because of Charleston.
What?
I should look.
I haven't even seen. I just saw the attack in Barcelona. I haven't read anything about it yet. What is? Was it a terrorist attack?
That's what they're saying. I don't know if they came out with who did it or not, but what they're saying is the guy drove a rental vehicle into a crowd, killed 13 people, injured like 50 some or more. And then later on, and I guess they ran and had a getaway vehicle also. So that's why they weren't sure if it was a terrorist or not, or what kind of terrorist, because most time Islamic terrorists are suiciding themselves, basically.
Right.
So if they run,
they want to keep going as long as they can. The most damage they can cause, right?
Oh no, Wolf Blitzer said, this is what Anthony Cumia said. Wolf Blitzer says Barcelona attack copycat version of what happened in Charlotteville, which is
because they used the car.
Which is bullshit because terrorists have been doing this for a couple years now. How can you say that they're copying off the fucking guy that killed one person and did a shitty fucking thing? I'm not saying I don't agree with what he did at all. But you can't even. How can you even talk about the two together? But it's because they try to go after Trump so badly that they're trying to blame everything on him.
I agree.
And I don't agree with a lot of what Trump says. I really don't. I don't agree with a lot of these politicians. So I don't, like you said,
I don't agree with any of them.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest, that's something I've been harping on the past couple days.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
You got all these groups, and like we just said, a lot of them are these white millennials that think they're fighting the good fight to end racism and, end they're fighting for rights of the gays and the transgenders. They're fighting for the rights of the black people and the Spanish people, Mexicans, you know what I mean? They're fighting that fight. Okay. How many of them are actually do anything other than just go to these rallies and raise signs and yell and scream? And how many of them are actually going like to the inner cities and helping, volunteering their time to help inner city kids and to make a real difference?
It's probably less than 5%.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there are more constructive things you could be doing other than walking down the street, yelling, calling President Trump a fascist, and calling the right racist. And
isn't that the problem with the internet though? Like right now, we have a voice. Like you, me, and you just talking here. Everyone has a voice now.
Yeah, right.
It's good,
but there's more constructive things that could be happening.
Right.
Like, how about we go after these politicians that election after election promise the minority groups the world to get their vote, and then they don't fucking do shit.
Even Obama. Well, they give them more free shit sometimes.
It's bullshit.
Well, even like Courtney, she works in the city, and she actually doesn't want to work outside of the city and work and help more privileged people. She likes helping the people that don't. She actually wants to help them instead of. She could easily get a job somewhere that's in way nicer neighborhoods, but she would rather help out the people that don't have. Where most people, like you were saying, just talk.
Right.
They're not actually going down there and helping.
I'm telling you, election cycle after election cycle, they promise them the world, and they don't follow through with shit.
That's what everyone's saying when Clinton was running. It's like, come on, guys. The Democrats have been telling you the same shit for how long now?
Exactly. Why don't these fucking social justice warriors hold their own party, which would be the left, hold them accountable, man? They're not throwing some free cell phones and some extra food stamps at somebody is not going to change their life. It's not going to end this vicious cycle that's happening where,
you're still stuck.
It's fucking nuts.
You're just making them more stuck, if anything, by giving them everything.
Right.
You're not helping them out at all.
Create jobs for them. Like what happened with in Baltimore. Like after all that happened, and you talk about it, like there's nothing for those kids to do. There's no places for people to work. There's no supermarkets in the city for people to go get food. They go to a bodega to do their grocery shopping. But yet there's a liquor store on every fucking corner.
Even the community centers got shut down because there was like pedophiles running them. Like they don't have shit.
Fucking nuts. That's where you need to start. You want to change shit? You want to make life more equal for everybody? You need to get in those cities and start changing shit. Start training people so they don't have to stand on the corner and sell drugs to make a living.
That's not true, Brian. Instead, what we'll do is make the Inner Harbor even nicer. So the tourists come and spend their money. Because that's what they're doing. They're redoing the whole Inner Harbor. Putting all this fucking money into the Inner Harbor when all the city around that area is shit.
But these motherfuckers are too stupid to see this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing that black people are held down. I am not disagreeing with that. They are. And especially inner city kids that grow up in poverty and grow up with parents that are out doing drugs or can't even feed them, like don't have the money to feed them because they can't get jobs or they can't whatever, I don't know. Every situation is different, but
yeah, no, I agree.
These kids have to turn to selling drugs just to make a living. That's their life. That's what they grow up in. Go change that shit. Stop fucking marching down the street, tearing down statues, blaming everything on everybody else. Let's go make a change there. That's where it starts.
Yeah, I wonder how much money they're spending just tearing down these statues and wasting.
Exactly. It can't be cheap.
No.
That money couldn't have been spent somewhere else that could actually make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking horse shit.
Yeah.
Start drug testing people that are on welfare or get government assistance. If you can't stay off drugs, then you don't deserve to get a free handout. That's my opinion.
You're fucking racist.
I don't give a shit.
No. No.
I have to stay clean to fucking work at my job.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just playing, obviously, but
that's one step.
That's so
if you can't stay clean, then you don't get no fucking handouts from me.
I agree.
Start setting up educational programs, teaching these kids coming up a trade or something that they can get, that they have a future with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Unfortunately, it's been
stop giving all the fucking tax money to the rich schools that don't fucking need it and start dumping money into the inner city schools that actually need the money to teach these kids.
To make a difference.
Teachers should not have to buy school supplies for the fucking students. It's ridiculous. There's got to be a different way, a better way. There has got to be.
I think on all levels, going down to the cops, they don't make a lot of money. So then there's a lot of corruption with cops in the cities.
Yeah.
Because if you're a county cop, I believe you probably make more money than if you're a city cop. I think it's easier to become a city cop too.
And but the risk is a lot more.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. And then there's way more corruption and way more all these cops planning drugs and all that shit. Or not even just planning drugs, but doing illegal shit to make more money.
I started watching The Wire.
Oh, did you?
Behind the Times. But it's interesting. It's interesting to know if that.
How far are you? Like first season, second season?
Second season.
Started
the second season, yeah.
Second season, it starts off at the docks?
Yeah, where they found all the Russian girls dead in the boat.
Okay, yeah.
The ship.
Mm-hmm. I really like the first season.
Yeah, it was good. But I don't know how true it is. I'm sure it's pretty accurate.
It's pretty true. I think it's pretty true. The governor.
That's what those kids know. Like the one kid, Wallace, that he's raising all his brothers and sisters because his mom's a fucking crackhead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the life they live. Go fix that.
Right.
Give them a shot.
Yeah.
That kid wanted to finish school, but he couldn't because he made money slinging dope on the,
Yeah, I was listening to someone talk, and they were talking to inner city kids, and it's not even that they don't want to get out of city, but say that the kids want to get out of city and like work and like become something more. Like their parents even look down on them for leaving the city.
Right.
Like it's a bad cycle.
Exactly. And it's not going to stop if we don't change that.
Yeah.
That's where we need to start. Focus your energy on that shit.
And I don't agree with the white supremacists and KKK. None of those groups. And if they were out there making... The thing is, at least where we live, we don't hear about them. So to me, it's like they're really not doing anything.
They're not.
Yeah. They're more like...
They round up the black vote, the Latino vote, promise them everything. Oh, yeah, we're going to make you guys... You're going to live the American dream. And nothing happens. Nothing changes. If anything, it's gotten worse.
I guess the big... And Rogan said this a bunch. He didn't come up with it, but he says a lot. Where all racists... Not all racists voted for Trump, but... Or wait. Not all... What is it? Not all racists. Not everyone that voted for Trump were racist, but everyone that's racist voted for Trump.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's true.
And that's where the left starts calling all conservatives racist. Yeah.
Right.
That's not true.
It's not,
true at all.
But the truth is that all the racists did vote for him, I'm sure.
I'm sure. It's funny though. You read some of this stuff. That one Klan, what was it, Klan leader? When he died, Hillary and Obama both wrote like nice things about him. Like Hillary called him her mentor and things like that.
Who was this?
I can't remember his name. I should have been more prepared, but
I never heard of that.
You'll have to look it up.
Yeah, well.
Let me see quick. I could probably find it quick. Unless Google took it down.
Yeah, right. That's the other problem with the internet. That's a real problem. I feel like everyone on the internet, like the owners, are all like left.
Yeah.
Mostly. Like Under Armour was right, and then Plank just stepped down from Under Armour. Like he still owns them, but he's not like in the position that he was in.
So his name was Robert Byrd.
Okay.
He was a KKK recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed away in 2010. And then she was Secretary of the State. She fondly eulogized Senator Robert Byrd, a former member and recruiter for the KKK. Clinton called Byrd my friend and my mentor in a video message commemorating his passing. And there's been word out there that the left is actually hired people to start this whole mess. I don't know how true it is, but
I mean that's what Alex Jones and stuff says.
So
I would not doubt that. If you look back, they talk about it all the time. You hear about it all the time back when
even in the Baltimore
Occupy Wall Street, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
They hired FBI or agents to go in dressed as vigilantes or whatever and start shit. Even though, and then they arrested them, but then they let them all go, and they were all wearing like FBI or military grade boots and shit.
Right.
And they were caught, or not. I mean, it's out there. Everyone knows that they were like hired to make the whole Occupy thing look like they were all bad.
Right.
And I believe a lot of that shit. I do believe that.
Yeah.
I believe,
definitely do.
And even with this, I believe that there's so much corruption, dude. I believe that they would hire or people to go in there and start shit to make it look way worse than it was.
Right. Right.
And why wouldn't you? I don't believe anything they say.
Like the article said that I read. Why were they allowed near them? They should, even if they pulled the proper permits, the ones that were there to protest protest against the white supremacists.
Mm-hmm.
Why were they allowed near them? You knew that was going to be trouble.
I've seen a lot of videos where the people were complaining, the people that went there to protest against them, like walk through the protests, and then when they wanted to leave, they wanted like help to leave around, and they were like, no, you have to go back through the same way you came in.
Yeah.
And they were like complaining. It's like, we're not going to help you get out of the situation that you put your fucking selves in. And
it's funny. You see, I've seen so many Facebook posts about like the white supremacist group came to spread violence and destruction. How much shit did the Black Lives Matter fucking
but the white supremacists
protest? How much shit did they damage? How much damage was done in Baltimore when that happened?
Maybe we're just a bunch of white boys and we can't look at it from the other side, but I think we can. But they definitely they were not the ones that started the bullshit. If other people didn't come there to protest against it, then it just never would have happened.
No. Like I said, if you just
first
let
night
them
they were
have
holding
their little protests.
They were holding tiki torches. They weren't doing shit.
No.
They look like a bunch of fucking idiots, but
You can't stop somebody from having their voice, even if you don't agree with it. You can't stop. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at. You can't have laws to protect freedom of speech and then choose what's okay to say and what's not. Like, it's freedom of speech. Like,
here's some shit. I follow or someone on my Facebook. I can't stand it, but I haven't like came to the grips of just saying like unfriending. But it's like from now on, I'm going to refer to the KKK as radical Christian terrorism. Hold on. It's just an ongoing. The true Confederate flag, and it just shows a white flag. Fucking shit. It's just, oh man. I don't know. It's so much. It's like, and I don't get what the South, like, I'm not from the South, just like I'm not black. And like this Southerners really hold on to the fucking Confederate flag. Like that means something to them.
it's their heritage, man. That's
right.
That's history. It's
yeah, right. Just like if you're Jewish, you hold on to that. That's who you are.
Right.
But I guess I can't see it because I'm not from the South.
And I just don't think there's more to it than just being a racist symbol, that flag.
Yeah, to me, and there is, because I've had that argument too, and I know I've looked it up, and it does mean more than that. But when I see it, I believe it's a racist piece of shit, and that's where I need to open my eyes and realize that that's not necessarily what they mean.
And you have the right to think that, but would you ever stop somebody from flying one? Would you stop them from their belief?
No, when we were at Ocean City that night, we went to the boardwalk and you turned around and left. Well, when we were walking, there was a group of fucking people wearing Confederate flags, a bunch of white people, hillbillies, wearing all Confederate flag shirts. And when I walked past, I'm like, man, you guys are fucked up. Like, you're trying to make a statement. It's like, I just don't like, I didn't like it. Yeah. I did look at them like, man, if I was black, and I'm not black, and I still didn't like it. I just, you could tell that to me, the way they were walking, it wasn't just heritage to them. It was more like they were trying to make a statement.
Right.
Like they were actually, it just seemed that way. And like I've seen like other black people on the boardwalk looking at them like, fuck them. And maybe it was because I was drunk. I wanted to say something and I didn't, but because I mean, at the same time, you do have that freedom to do what the fuck you want. I don't want someone telling me what I can believe in and can't believe in.
Right. That's my whole argument. I don't agree with it, but I can't stop somebody for believing what they believe. That's one of my arguments too for the whole gay marriage thing. Like, I don't care. In my eyes, I don't care. Like, if you find somebody that makes you happy and you want to spend the rest of your life with, that's hard to do these days. But where I tend to get not even upset, I just don't think it's right. I don't think they should be able to force a church to marry people.
Or like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like those wedding cake places.
Right.
See,
I mean, there's enough churches out there that are more modern, up with the times, that will marry these people. I don't think you should, like, there's some hardcore churches that are like, no, we don't believe this. It's wrong. You should not be able to force them to have to do that. Like, it's wrong.
Yeah. Or like that marriage license lady that became like famous because she didn't want to give them a marriage license because she was really religious. Now,
you're stepping on somebody else's rights, their rights to believe what they believe, just to satisfy somebody else, and it's not right. Like,
see, I kind of look at it different. I kind of think that they should. Not the church, maybe not the church, but I believe like if you, I mean, you can't make a business though. At the same time, you can't if you make it. Didn't it happen in PA or somewhere where there was a cake place recently?
What was it?
Like someone that makes cakes recently, and they didn't want to make it for them.
I don't know.
To me, I'm not religious, so I mean, I have a cross on my arm, but I'm not religious. But that lady that didn't give those gay people the marriage license, I didn't like her at all. Like I was against. I thought she should, because it was a law. It was a fucking law that you have to. Now, like before, you could use that argument because you weren't allowed to get married.
Right.
But now that it is a law, maybe not the church, because the church still has say in what they do or who they marry and who they don't. But like if you're a marriage license person, don't you think they should have to if it's a law?
If it's a law, I mean, yeah, but I'm not saying I think it's right. If it goes against your beliefs, then why should you be forced to do it?
I guess you shouldn't have that job. But that's a little different. A marriage license is a little different because that is a law. But like a cake place or a church, that's not a law. Like they don't have to marry you. Like they wouldn't, like my parents' neighbors, they wouldn't marry me unless I did like a fucking course and whatever.
Right.
And they didn't marry me. I didn't do it.
Now, like a Catholic church, I don't know what it's like today, but back in the day, if you got a divorce, you pretty much got shunned from the Catholic Church.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I believe that. Yeah, I watched a lot of The Sopranos lately, and they didn't believe it. I don't know what religion is Italians.
I imagine they're Catholic.
Yeah, they didn't believe in fucking divorce in that show.
That's how it was, though. It was hardcore. Like, it happened to my mom. It happened to Rochelle's mom. When they got divorces, you're pretty much not allowed back there again because it goes against their beliefs.
Yeah, that's why I don't like religions that much. But I get it, because you should be able to believe in what you want. I don't know. It's so tricky.
Yeah.
All of it is. Like
maybe the marriage license woman is a little different because it's law and that's her job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I still don't agree with it 100%. Like
she's getting paid to do a job that
you shouldn't be forced to do something if you don't, in your heart, you don't believe it.
Right. Well, yeah, but if it's your job, just say your job right now. If you didn't believe in a part that you had to make, you still have to fucking make it.
Yeah, true.
But
I can't argue that.
There is a difference in the church thing or like a cake. If you're in your own fucking cake business, bakery, like you shouldn't have to do whatever then you should be able to say whatever you want. And you can. The problem is it gets out there on the fucking social media and then everyone attacks you for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there's any way to necessarily fix it all. I really don't. Like my kids, I haven't really taught them anything because they don't look at people differently. Like they don't see a black person and think anything because I'm not racist, so I don't talk bad about anyone in front of them, especially. Right. So they don't know no difference. And I guess I will have to explain it to them just because, like, your kids with the school, once you get older in school, you don't want them to say,
mm-hmm.
You do have to teach them, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? Because I haven't taught my kids anything.
Oh, I mean, I teach them.
I also live in a very white place.
Yeah. See, I'm more diverse up here, but
yeah.
I teach them to treat everybody the same. Nobody's different. We're all humans.
Mm-hmm.
We're all trying to attain the goal of living a good life and being, productive members of society and live prosperous. It's just I just can't stand when everything they say, they got to feel like they're saying something. Watch what they say, or
I haven't come across that yet.
It just gets out of hand.
See, as a kid, I grew up in an all black school. There was like 2 white kids, and I was one of them. And I never, even back then, I didn't know any different. So I didn't think anything of it at all. At all. Like, it was normal to me.
It's almost to the point where
I think a lot of it comes down to parenting.
Today, like, it's almost to the point where we gotta like feel ashamed because we're white. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can no longer say we're proud to be a white American. Like, it's just not like we can't even embrace
white power,
our race anymore.
Yeah.
Like, without feeling like we're stepping on somebody else's toes. It's just gotten out of hand. And they say that's what this whole rally was about. It wasn't. But then you see pictures of them and videos of them saying hateful things. So,
right. But at Black Lives Matter, you see videos of people saying hateful things too.
Yeah, kill Whitey and
right. Kill the cop, fuck the cops, everything. I mean, there's races in every. I mean, I think a lot of black people, white people, are racist because their parents are racist. Whether you're black or white, you don't like a different race, so you teach your kids that, and then they're gonna grow up that way. And it's hard to change someone. Just like I think we've talked about it before. It's like your first however many years are like the most important years you're forming the person.
Right.
And once you do that, it's hard to change someone.
Yeah. Yeah, their first,
I'm guessing at least
the early years of life are the most influential.
Yeah. And whether you're white or black, and there's black people that hate white people, and that are going to teach their kids that all the cop thing's a little different, but all white people are, bad or whatever. And the same with white people. It's definitely the same.
And see, I try to think like, I don't put anybody down. I want everybody to be successful because that makes us stronger as a country. The more people we have working together, working towards a goal, makes us a stronger country.
Right. I'm sure other countries love seeing us in all this turmoil. Right. Like, you guys try to tell us how to live our lives, but you guys can't.
We're fighting amongst ourselves.
Right.
It's so bad right now that even if a black person comes out and disagrees with that side, they get called an Uncle Tom, or you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
right. If they
agree, crazy.
If they agree with it that the Democrats haven't helped them and that they use them, then they're like banished from their group.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't know when it's going to end.
I don't think it will. Honestly, I don't. I think even now it's better than it's ever been.
Oh, definitely.
It's definitely better than it's ever been.
But you got these whiny bitches out there that act like
social justice warriors and all.
And like you said, it's mostly these fucking millennial white kids that think they're fighting the good fight, and
how the fuck are we?
Just want to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
It's just, it drives me nuts.
So we're considered millennials?
Yeah.
How's that? How are we lumped in with that same group? I feel like if you grew up during the 90s, then why? Because we graduated in 2000.
Before it was from like 84 to 2000 something was considered a millennial.
So what is it? What are these new kids considered?
Oh, there's like what is it?
Like our kids, what would they be considered?
X or something like that.
What the fuck is that? They just get an X. I was thinking about this the other night. I'm like, how the fuck are we lumped in with all these little kids that believe this shit?
Yeah, but see, like from our generation,
Mm.
I think it was after us where it really started.
Yeah, that's why I think. That's why I hate being
I
grouped
think
in
it was
with
the
it.
2000s, 2002s
Right. Because I
is
was
when
born
they
in 80.
started being little
I was
little
born.
bitches.
I was born in 85, so I mean, I grew up through the 90s, and then we graduated in the early 2000s. I don't see how that, but I know that that's what they consider us.
Yeah, it's Generation Z is after the
Well,
millennials.
that makes sense now that they're calling everyone fucking Z's and he's and she, whatever the fuck they're calling people nowadays. Now that you don't have to be a certain gender anymore.
Yeah. I don't care. Whatever.
I don't care either. It's dumb as shit to me, though.
That's another thing though. Okay. And that came about with the bathroom thing
Mm-hmm.
where
But
what was that all about? They were
don't you think that? Let's go back for 1 second. They fought for gays for so many years, right? And then finally, the gay marriage passed. It's like they move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's gotten like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they have to have something to fight for, it seems.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't
agree with that whole gender thing.
No, I don't either, honestly.
I don't agree with it, but I don't care.
Right.
If you are a guy and you want to turn to a girl and suck penises, by all means, go suck a penis. I don't care. However you want to live your life and be happy, that's fine.
I'm more worried about.
I don't agree with this. There's science that proves otherwise, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're born a boy or you're born a girl. That's.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think if you're born with a dick, you're a guy. And that's all there is to it. And if you cut it off, to me, you're still a
guy. Your DNA makeup is still a guy.
I still can't get you pregnant.
But
and I know there's mental like issues where they believe they were, that they were born. And I don't disagree with that.
No, I can't say how somebody feels. Like I can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the science world, you're still a boy.
Right. Like
you were born with a penis.
These people like switching sports, like playing like women's sports now because they're fucking.
That's where it gets real shady.
Yeah. I think
even the fuck out of women and you're a guy.
I think there was a runner or something even in the Olympics.
Yeah. Yep. And that's when you get into that. I've heard arguments saying they're going to have to make like different classes, like if your testosterone level is this high, you can't race against women. Like they're going to have to make their own special.
But are those guys that are in the Olympics? They're taking medicine, so their testosterone isn't as high. Isn't that right?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I
think they're taking shit to lower their testosterone. That's where I disagree with the whole transgender thing. They're putting kids, like teens, and maybe even younger, on like estrogen blockers and different things.
Yeah, before they're
And I think that's too young to even. Yeah.
You should be a legal adult and make your own decisions on that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes.
And like you said, I don't give a fuck what people do. If you're an adult, you do whatever the hell you want. I do what I want. And I just really don't care.
If you're a guy and you feel more feminine and you think that you were supposed to be a woman, then by all means do it.
But I don't have to agree with it though.
No.
And I don't have to understand. Like
and you're never going to convince me when there's the science to back.
Right. Or maybe there is science and all that, but maybe I just don't understand. And if you don't understand, you're a piece of shit, homophobe, and all that other shit. Like they expect you to all of a sudden, now that gay marriage is passed, that you just the next thing is this transgender thing, and that we're all just supposed to understand and be okay with it.
Right.
But why? Just like the racing.
You can still accept things and not. You can. How do I want to say this?
Yeah, that makes sense. Not agree.
You can still. You cannot agree, but still accept things. Maybe that's how I want to say it. I don't know.
Just with the gay thing, I never cared. Even as a kid, I just did not care. I don't care whether they can get married or not. To me, they should be able to. Whatever. It doesn't.
Well, and that's another thing. I don't care, but then when you're around somebody, the way society is today, you feel so weird because you're afraid you're going to say something that's going to offend them.
Right.
That's where I have a problem with everything being offensive and racist, and that it makes me feel uncomfortable to be around somebody that I'm going to say something that's not right. Does that make sense?
No. I mean, I've said it in front of gay people, like, just say, you like flowers. Oh, that's gay. But I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just saying it like,
you get what I'm saying? Like, that's the society that we're in now, though. Like, you have to feel like you're always. That's what I'm saying. I hate about my kids coming home saying that about. I'm not trying to be racist. Like, they make it so, to where you have to feel like you're so uncomfortable that you're going to say something wrong. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah,
to where you almost avoid people just because you don't want to.
Well, you can't talk about it.
Right.
You can't even talk about it to figure out what's wrong. Like, that's the problem nowadays. You can't fucking talk. You're either racist. If you don't get something and you want to just have a discussion, you can't. There is no discussion nowadays. There's no discussion on the internet. You go on Twitter, you go Facebook. There's no fucking discussion. It's attacking one side or the other, and that's it.
Right. People pick a side and they stick to that fucking side. They don't give a shit.
That's why I don't even comment. Like, there's times that I want to say something like my what I believe, whether it's right or wrong. I don't even want to say it because I know no matter what, I'm going to be attacked, and it's not going to be a discussion.
Oh, and see, that's the problem. We need to just start saying what we think and stick to it.
Yeah.
If that's what you believe in your heart, then just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what you say, no matter what you put on social media, no matter what side you're on, there's always going to be somebody that has a problem with it.
Yeah.
And if we want to fix this, we just need to go for it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we had to talk, and you have to, and that's CNN or whatever. They don't have discussions. They have one guy that's right or left, completely against it, and then they argue. They don't even talk, and it's like a 3-minute thing where they go back and forth.
Attack.
Right.
It's like attack mode.
For like 3 minutes, and then we just go on to the next subject. It's pretty fucking crazy, and I can't watch any of these fucking channels. No, even if I agree with them.
When this Charlotteville stuff was going on the other day, I just for my own entertainment, I switched. I put Fox News on, and then I put CNN on, and I just kept flipping back and forth, and it was hysterical. CNN's all Trump, blah blah blah. He didn't stand up for against these people. Blah, blah. He switched to Fox News, and they're like, "Oh well, we liked what Trump said, and we thought he handled it well." It's like, Jesus Christ,
complete opposites.
Complete opposite.
Yeah, it was. I always do that. I never just watch one. If I do, I rarely watch, but if I do, I'm constantly switching back and forth just to see.
I was sitting there, Rochelle sitting on the couch. I'm like, do you see this shit? This is fucking comical. Like, these are the people that are bringing us our news. Like,
and that's half the problem. Why can't we just have a news that talks about what's going on? Okay, these guys are protesting, and these people showed up, and these people did things wrong. These people did things wrong, or these people came to protest, and then the white supremacist groups attacked those people. Tell us exactly what the fuck happened.
Give us the fucking news and leave your opinions out of it. How about that? Let me form my own opinion.
There's too much money
Stop
involved.
fucking filling everybody's head with your opinions and your agenda, and it's just fucking bullshit.
And there's even YouTube.
I just want the news. I want to know what's going on, what happened, and then I'll form my own opinion.
Yeah.
They're trying to brainwash people. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I agree. There's even channels that like used to be like more or less biased on YouTube and shit that I used to watch, but lately it's like even they can't just tell you the news anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's all money driven. It really is.
Oh, it is, and that's what I'm saying. The media loves this shit, man, because like they can pull stories, they can write.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about Russia anymore. Like they talked about
weeks.
They talked about Russia.
Keep them filled for weeks.
Yeah, they've been talking about Russia since before the election, and now they finally have something new to talk about.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be even with the terrorist attack today. Even with that, I checked that today's the first day I actually watched the news because of that attack. I want to see what's going on, and they're like, yeah, 13 dead, blah blah blah. But after the commercial, we'll be talking about whatever Trump and whatever's going on with Charleston.
Yeah,
like they can't even talk about what's actually going on today that people actually want to hear about.
Well, now they had that council set up. What was that? It was like a manufacturing council or something like that.
So I heard
like Under Armour pulled out, and the AFL-CIO, which is like a union group, they pulled out.
I saw something about that. And Trump said that he was gonna get rid of it anyway.
Yeah, he disbanded it. Yeah, because everybody keeps pulling out. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, Kevin or Plank, the Under Armour guy.
Yeah,
I think his name's Kevin Plank. Something Plank. He stepped down from whatever position he was with Under Armour. And it has nothing to do with what he believes in. It's all because people aren't buying his shit because he is on the right.
Oh, okay.
So because he's, you know how it goes. If you believe in Trump, then no one's going to want to wear your shit. If you believe in the left, then a certain amount of people aren't going to want to wear your shit.
Yeah, I almost wondered, like I actually looked this up too, because when I heard he pulled out, I wondered what his I can't think of the word. The people who are buying his stuff, what was like the major
where they were hit, like why they started losing money.
Yeah. Okay, like I wondered what his demographic was for sales as far as Under Armour. Like who buys the most Under Armour? So I thought about sports. Almost all sports players wear Under Armour. So I wanted to know what the different breakdown was for each race in sports. You know what I mean? Like basketball majority is black people.
Right. Makes sense.
Baseball's majority is white.
Then they got a small hunting.
So I was what I was getting at is I was looking at if in his heart he pulled out of this because it went against what he believed in. He thought Trump was sticking up for the white supremacist, or if he was just playing into the hand.
Oh, for sure.
Of what his sales are. Okay, so
it's not
majority of his sales are black people. All right, well I'm going to get on their good side because they buy my product.
Well, I think that's why I think they already saw a hit in their product just because of what side he took. And that's exactly why he pulled out. I don't think it's because of what he believes in.
Right.
I think that's what comes down to money.
That's what I wish more people would think about stuff. Think for yourself. Research yourself. They just automatically, the Under Armour guy, he's a good guy, man. He believes against racism and this and that. But what was his ulterior motive? Was it really because,
Hmm.
he's siding with the people that are buying his stuff, or
Yeah,
is it really what he believes? Like,
yeah, right.
I don't know. You just got to think deeper sometimes. And I'm not good at explaining stuff. I don't even know why I do a podcast because I can't fucking
Yeah, no, me
explain
too.
shit.
Just the average Joe.
But these are like, I'm smart. I am smart. I know I'm smart. I think about these things in my head. I'm just not good at getting it out in words.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Well, I think we'll get better if we keep doing this. Yeah. No, I agree too. I think a lot. Like everything I think, I just got to be able to articulate better.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely, I think like anything, it comes down to money. If your business is taking a hit, it's not about your political beliefs or whatever. It's about the fucking money.
It's business, right?
Just like fucking CNN with this shit. They're going to run with it because they're getting hits, ratings. People are watching.
Right.
And like you were saying earlier, I think like when I get on Twitter and I see all these celebrities tweeting against everything, whether I agree or disagree with it, it makes me mad just because they're all fucking attacking and you can tell which side they're on.
Yeah.
Like it's not. And even there's actors out there that specifically have said, I think Tim Allen's one of them because I think he's right.
He's a conservative, yeah.
Right. That they lose jobs if they come out and talk and say, agree with Trump or whatever, or say they're going to vote for him back then. And that's why you see almost all of Hollywood is left.
Right.
And they're the ones that people fucking listen to for some reason. When just because they're good actors doesn't mean they're fucking smart. They don't know what the average, and even if they used to know what the average life is, they're not living the average life anymore.
They're not living the average life anymore. They're disconnected from people like us.
Right. Even if they grew up normal, they're not anymore.
No.
There's a big difference.
I don't take any. I think for myself. I try to research myself. There is influential people in my life or that I follow on social media and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you still look into things for yourself and you still form your own opinions. And I think that's what's being lost today. It's just everybody picks a side and they stick to that fucking side. They don't give a shit. Even if they don't believe it, they're sticking to that side. You know what I mean? It's fucking bananas. So
no, I agree. It's pretty fucking crazy anymore.
And to think.
So do you think more good's coming from the internet or more bad?
I think we're taking steps backwards, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I think there's good and bad. Like with like the cop videos, like without the internet, we would never have.
Oh no!
No, I'm just saying with anything. Period. Stuff. No. Period. Like anything, good and bad. But I think there's more.
Yeah, I definitely think police corruptions came to a head
because of the internet. But then because of social media, also, I feel like there's good. There might be more bad.
Yeah. We definitely, everything's in your face now.
So yeah.
Nothing goes hidden anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But people have been saying it for years about the police corruption, and nobody believes anything until you actually see it.
Right,
like there's Baltimore cops planting evidence, and
if the recorder didn't go 30 seconds back, you would never have saw it.
Right. So, but then there's also a side to be made there too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine being a cop and knowing that somebody's doing something wrong, knowing that they're breaking the law, but you just can't catch them. You can't get them. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah. Well, that's definitely.
How many times
I was talking about this with my dad the other day, literally like 3 days ago. Those cops, they knew that guy was probably selling drugs. For sure. Yeah. That's what he was doing. No doubt about it. 100% selling drugs. But they couldn't find the drugs. So they plan it and bust him anyway.
Yeah.
Knowing for 100% that's what he was doing, whether that's right or wrong. And I don't agree with it because I think you should be caught red-handed to be able to get in trouble. I don't think they should just be able to see you and think that's what you're doing, or even know that's what you're doing, but can't prove it.
Yeah.
I think they need to be able to prove it.
How frustrating would it be to be a cop these days?
Oh, well, I
mean, couldn't pay me enough money.
I have a friend that's a cop. I don't know how the fuck he does it. I really don't know. I have a Navy friend. We might have a guest one day. One of our Navy friends come on. Problem is, he can't talk too much political shit.
Oh, yeah?
Legally.
Well, he definitely posts enough on Facebook, so...
Yeah. Yeah, well, he'll probably still talk about it. No one watches anyway.
I don't know. We have 2 viewers. Apparently.
Yeah, I see. One's probably Courtney. No, I don't know. She's probably sleeping. It's almost 11:30 already. But okay, the internet's good for the cop thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it's good for everything, though. I think because if without the internet, here's the difference. Right now, you see how CNN and Fox treat us, right? But there is other outlets where we can learn the different sides, whether it's truth or not. I think some of it is. But without the internet, all you would be fed is CNN and Fox News.
Right. You would have no other, yeah.
There is no other option.
But the problem is, too, though, who do you believe these days?
That's the other thing, even with conspiracies. There's a conspiracy for everything, and then when there's a real conspiracy that's actually true, you don't believe it because there's so many fucking bad, like Alex Jones.
Yeah.
He is right about certain things, and then he's fucking crazy. It was literally crazy.
Yeah, when he starts talking about sex slaves on Mars and shit.
Right.
Fucking nut job.
Right. But then
he has been right about things. Yeah.
Right. But then it's easy to sit for the news or CNN to say he's look what he talks about.
Yeah. Right.
It's easy to discredit him.
Yeah.
And I think our government likes that because if there is a real conspiracy, they don't want you to believe it. Like Hillary Clinton, how many people have suicided themselves that Hillary Clinton has been connected to?
Yeah. Yeah, I never knew that. One guy was shot himself twice in the head. That's pretty weird.
That too. Yeah. Yeah. Another guy shot himself. It was I seen this. It was a suicide, but they can't find the weapon. It's like, huh? Yeah. He hit the weapon after he shot himself. That's fucking crazy.
That's amazing.
It's fucking crazy.
I've heard it talked about before, but definitely there has been killings to further push along a candidate or cover something up. I guarantee it.
I believe the Clinton, that one guy that they said that might have leaked the emails.
Okay.
I don't know I can't think of his name, but he was shot in the back, like right by his house.
Yep.
I believe there was a reason for that.
Well, there's been who was the other one? That was probably the guy that shot himself twice in the head. I wish I knew names. I should be better prepared, but he was set to testify against who was that? I don't want to say because I don't know for sure, but
yeah,
he was set to testify against somebody in the political world, and somehow he managed to shoot himself twice in the head.
Yeah, so. There's 1,000 stories like that, and there's a lot of truth to that.
So,
and that's when I first started watching House of Cards, I'm like, man, this is kind of out there. I don't believe this shit. And then as like more comes out with it because of the internet, that's why the internet is good, because there is a lot of leaks and like we learn more shit than we ever would have from the government.
Yeah, it doesn't seem so far-fetched, does it?
No, it seems like it might be spot on.
Oh, Jesus.
Actually, it might be a little less crazy than what's actually going on. The shit that's actually going on might be crazier.
Right. Yep.
And I heard other people talking about that. If you can go into another country, drone attack, kill thousands of innocent people, however, I don't know how many, but a lot of innocent people. What's one fucking person? What's one person killing someone in America that's going to get you in trouble if you don't get rid of them?
Right.
You can sleep. You're going to sleep at night just fine because you kill fucking thousands.
Yep. We kill 100 people to get one target.
Right.
Women, children, doesn't matter.
So what's killing one innocent guy that knows too much? There's nothing.
It's not very far-fetched.
No, you could go to sleep at night. Those people we're pawns in their fucking game.
Yeah.
And I believe that. Even with Trump, with all of them, they use us, and there's no doubt about it.
Right. No, I don't disagree.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But I definitely think we're being divided right now, and it's not good. It's not good for us. It's not good for the American people.
Yeah, you might need to get guns.
No,
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't think it's good either. I think it's going to pass over. Maybe, I don't know. It's getting,
I don't know what the end game would be though. I'm not sure. Having us fight amongst ourselves, what? I guess so. Maybe to distract from other things. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely think that's happening. What is the reason that the media want, not just the media, but they're like splitting everyone? I think it's the Democrats just want to get another Democrat in office next political election.
Yeah, 4 years. I'm sure.
Do you think Trump?
No, they fucked up.
Do you think
Democrats fucked up by running Hillary against Trump, in my opinion?
Do you think Trump could win again? Do you think with all this, more white people will actually go out and vote again? Like even more than last time? Or not?
If things keep up the way they are.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be more black votes, more.
Because all right, I'm not saying me personally, but I'm just like throwing a hypothetical out there. When you feel like you're attacked all the time for being a white person, who are you going to stick with?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You're going to stick with your side.
Just a thought. No.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's going to be interesting who runs this next cycle, because there's been a lot of names thrown out there. Like I saw people were thinking like Mark Zuckerberg's going to run.
He's a piece of shit too.
I've heard The Rock wants to run.
Was The Rock even born in America though?
I don't know.
I don't think he was. I'd probably vote for him.
Yeah, I'd vote for The Rock, definitely.
He's got a fucking great work ethic.
Exactly. That's what I like about him.
Dude, if you're smart though, do you really want to be in there and have to kill people? And like, you have to make those fucking decisions. You have to be You have to be a certain kind of person to want to do that.
And I've heard this, and it kind of rings true. He was born in California.
Oh, was he?
By the way, yeah.
Oh wow,
Hayward, California.
Huh? I thought he was okay. Well, that's cool.
Arnold wasn't born in the U.S., so he could never be president.
Right, and that's why he was just a governor, and that was it.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually disagree with a lot of people like him, but it's only on basis of a couple things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, apparently, he wasn't that great. I don't know enough, but Dude, I don't know. Do you think Trump? I mean, obviously, Trump, if he's healthy, he's going to run again, right?
You'd think he'd run 2 terms. I don't know.
Or do you think he just wants to go back to his fucking tower?
Yeah. Maybe fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck this. I'm gonna go eat me a Big Mac.
Because he just went back to New York for the first time to his house.
Yeah.
And it's like, his house is probably nicer than the fucking White House.
Probably.
Right?
It's been said that he said that the White House was a dump.
Yeah. Probably is compared. I mean,
Now they're doing all these renovations, so who knows? But I don't know.
You think
fucked up times, man? I swear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the whole getting rid of all the history. Like you said, whether you agree with it or not, it is history. Like if you just like the racists that don't agree with, or the gays that didn't agree with Martin Luther King, it's history.
Yeah.
And I agreed with him, obviously, but there are people that didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to go back and tear down Malcolm X. I mean, there's so much, everything. Columbus, fucking everything. There's, you know.
Well, they say, like, that's what I heard an argument about that today about Columbus. He came here and started the genocide of Native Americans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we should get rid of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you just can't get rid of history because it is history, whether you agree or disagree. And I'm kind of coming on your side because at first I did say, well, I don't really care. Like, fuck it, take them down. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, it is part of our history. I mean, why should we forget it? We need to learn from our history.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed to do. Learn and keep on getting it. Like, a fucking statue is not going to change anything.
No, that's what I was saying. Does somebody walking past that statue actually cause them emotional distress, or get the fuck out of here? If you're that fucking weak, you ain't never gonna make it in this world.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are weak.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Everybody acts like they're owed something, or something should be given to them for free, or just because they're living. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's switch subjects before we stop real quick. You texted me earlier and said 217 is stacked for UFC.
Yeah.
Let's stop this podcast in a minute, though. But who is the main event?
217 is going to be... That's George St. Pierre and
Cody Garbrandt is the co-main.
Yeah. And now they just added Wonder Boy and somebody else.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Who?
Wonder Boy and... I can't think of that.
That's not till November.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's GSP card.
Yeah.
It's not on the UFC page. I saw that Wonder Boy. I saw it. I saw like a picture on a headline, but I didn't even read it or anything.
Just type in Wonder Boy 217.
All right.
George Masvidal.
Yeah.
Yep. UFC's trying to make up some ground here.
Yeah. Do you think that Conor will fight again this year for the UFC?
I think it depends how this fight goes.
Well, yeah. That's true.
I want to see him fight Paulie now too.
Which fight would you rather see? See, here's the fight I want to see still. I want to see Nate Diaz fight him again.
Yeah, I definitely think Diaz deserves a third time, and I think this time should be
at 155.
a title shot.
At 155.
Yeah.
Me too. But the problem is they're making an interim title for Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee, which I don't think makes sense because they're doing that in October, which is after this fight. Like it doesn't even make sense to have an interim fight at this point.
Yeah, because that almost guarantees that Conor wouldn't
fight Nate
before the end of the year.
Yeah.
If they're fighting in October.
I guess if you make 150 million or whatever.
He's definitely, if that's the case, he's not going to fight before the end of the year, unless it's for a non-title fight.
Yeah,
because there's no way those guys can fight in October and be ready by.
At this point, I don't even think Conor cares about the titles. I think he'd rather just he knows him and Nate Diaz would be a huge fight. Right. Or does he save that for down the line? Even if he's coming off a loss, people will still want to see that fight.
Yeah, it definitely has to happen to end it once and for all.
And you can tell Nate's waiting for that fight. He doesn't want to fight anyone until that fight.
So, I didn't hear what you said.
I said you could tell that Nate's waiting for that fight. He doesn't want to fight anyone until he gets the Conor fight.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I guess it's been a couple weeks now that Anderson Silva wanted to fight Nick Diaz again.
Yeah, he said that, but the problem is Nick Diaz missed 3 drug tests.
Oh, yeah, so he's out of the pool.
Yeah, because once you're in USADA, you have to tell them exactly where you're going to be every time. And I guess Nick doesn't tell them where he's going to be. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Did he really make that much money from it?
From the UFC? No, this is Nick, not Nate.
Yeah, I know, but
his brother
Nick make that much?
No, I think Nick's making more money off the pot industry right now, and he goes there clubs, and if he shows up to a club, the club pays him shitload of money just to show up.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't even show up to all those. He just doesn't give a fuck. I think here's the thing: GSP is gonna fight Bisping, and Silva is gonna fight Gastelum. I think Anderson Silva. Mm-hmm. If Anderson Silva can win, he's still a top 6 right now. Anderson.
Well, yeah, they put a clause in GSP's thing.
Yes, I saw that. He has to fight.
He has to defend that title
against the guy that just beat Yoel Romero.
Oh yeah.
He won on one leg. Yeah, but I think if they could, they would make that GSP Silva fight. That's a super fight people have been.
That's a fight I'd buy.
Yeah. This Anderson.
I don't know if Silva still got it though. I don't know. We'll see how GSP does too.
He's gonna try to wrestle Bisping. Bisping's not a wrestler, and GSP is. What do you think about? Conor fight is Saturday. It's not that far away anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast they booked this fight and it's right away. What do you think with all the videos that have leaked and everything that's going on?
I'm still pulling for Conor.
Floyd just came out today. I didn't listen to it, but they had one of those phone calls where people ask him questions. Mm-hmm. And then you talk on the phone. But he said that from those videos, you could tell Conor's a dirty fighter. So he's put in the refs' heads right away that Conor's a dirty fighter.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to deduct. I see it. I can see in this fight that they're going to deduct points from little tiny shit that a normal boxer would never get a point deducted from. Mm-hmm. But because he's not a boxer, they're going to deduct points real fast.
Well, of course they want Floyd to win. That's, they're going to skew it any way they need to for Floyd's favor.
Yeah, I agree. But I also heard the argument that, do you want Floyd to win? If you're Las Vegas, Floyd's retiring. Connor's the 29-year-old that's going to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And if you're smart, don't you go with the young guy that's going to keep fighting?
I wish the odds were a little better. I might bet some money, but they're not even that.
Well, they used to be better. The problem is too many people started betting for Connor, so it made the odds go too close.
Yeah.
Now it's
worth it now.
Yeah. If you would have got in it when they first announced it, it was a crazy.
Do you get locked into? I don't know how betting works like that. Does it?
Yeah, whatever the number is at that time, and the more people would bet for like the underdog, it makes him less of an underdog.
Yeah,
and that's why he's not an underdog. Because you could bet.
I want to see fucking Floyd just stiffen up, fucking fall to the floor, arms stiff, eyes rolled back in his head. I want to see it so bad.
I did too. I've watched some of his fights again. Oh, I sent you that video. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did watch it.
The Showtime.
That's why I said fuck him.
And you watch it. I feel like Connor is like all the boxers that box him go in there with that boxing stance, and it's all boxing movement.
Right.
And the times that he's been in trouble were guys that were just like brawlers or like just unorthodox. And Connor's not going to be a boxer. He's barely even training with real boxers. I don't know.
He's going to have a karate stance or Muay Thai stance.
Dude, I'm so excited for this fight. It's pretty fucking crazy.
And actually, the whole Paulie drama has gotten me more and more interested in it.
I don't even care about the knockdown. That fucking straight left that he fucking rocked his head back with.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
And they just allowed the 8-ounce gloves.
I think Connor's got a shot.
I know.
I really do.
And for some reason, I think Mayweather is, even though he might be saying the right things, but I feel like he's underestimating him.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe not, though. I don't know. It's so tricky because, like, they're going to say what you want to hear. And that's what I'm scared of. Floyd keeps saying, oh, I'm going to come forward. I'm going to come forward. I need to knock him out because that last Pacquiao fight sucked. It's like, are you really? Because I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
Your whole legacy on the line just to...
Apparently, he's making like $250 or $350 mil.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's fucking bananas.
I know. For 35 minutes, if it goes that long.
That's crazy.
Or 32. Dude. I don't know what it is.
I wonder how much the government's going to take.
A lot of money.
How much is he behind in taxes? I never even saw anything about it.
It's a lot of millions. It's not a little bit. But compared to what he's going to make, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it was like 30 million or something. It wasn't nothing little.
Jesus.
But he could sell, like, he has so much land and like cars. He has the money. He just asked them to wait until after the fight.
Yeah.
He's got that nightclub. Apparently he's losing money on that.
Yeah, I don't think that nightclubs are the moneymaker that people think they are.
No, I think he's just doing it because it makes him look flashy.
Yeah. I can't imagine what fucking insurance would be on a nightclub. Could you imagine?
Mm-hmm. And just in
like liability insurance,
just in Las Vegas, like the liquor licenses is probably outrageous. Everything's probably outrageous.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get that fight next week.
Yep.
Courtney, I mean, this is the fight. I've been in stores, Royal Farms, and hear people, fucking old people, young people, talking about it. Like it's one of those. It's one of those fights that you don't even have to be a fight fan and people know about it.
No, exactly. Yep. You just want that's what I want to see. I want to see Conor knock him out, just to make history. Like
I want to see it. I want to see it. Dude, if he could do it, he's the fucking biggest superstar ever, biggest athlete ever. Floyd's undefeated. He's fucking good. But you watch some of this, I don't know. When I really think about it, I'm like, Floyd's going to win. But the good thing about Conor is if Conor can go 12 rounds, that's a win. Like if Floyd can't,
Yeah,
if Floyd,
I've heard people say that,
but if Floyd can't get a non-boxer out of there, then how good is he? Someone that's never had a professional boxing match.
yeah, I see that argument, but Connor's still a fighter, you know. He boxed when he was younger. He's still a fighter. Like I don't put too much into that.
He is, but he's not. I don't know. I can't.
I think Connor's gonna do it.
I'm
I'm gonna sleep him within 2 rounds.
That's what he said. He said after they changed,
he's fucked.
He's like, I'm giving him 4 rounds, but if they change to 8, I'm hard to give him two rounds.
He's fucked. God, could you imagine?
It would be so great. Like all the like I watch First Take and like all that with Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman's HBO boxing like pro announcer. And they're like saying that he can't touch him, and it's like I just want to hear all these people just like eat it.
Eat their words, yeah. And you know if he wins, that's the first thing he's gonna say. Like he's gonna call out all his doubters.
That's where it's hard to go against him. Like I've been a Conor fan the whole time. Like he's Irish. I like the way he fights. I like the way he talks. The only fight that I didn't care whether he won or lost was the Nate. Like I've loved the Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
But all the rest. But I was always nervous. Like I was like, man, this guy's a wrestler. Like Chad Mendez, he might wrestle him, and and then he fucking knocks him out. I'm like, oh shit. And then Eddie Alvarez, he won most of his fights in the UFC by holding people down, holding them against the cage. He won the title by knocking DeSantis out, but that's not how he always fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
And then he fights Conor, and Conor fucking TKOs him. It's like, what the fuck?
He knocks Aldo out too.
Yeah, in the fucking 13 seconds.
One of the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually thought Aldo
knocks him out while he's backing away.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
And then you watch the replay in the locker room or whatever you want to call it. He says, Aldo's going to come towards me. I'm going to juke to the left or do whatever I do. And he like did the same exact movement in the back right before the fight. Mm-hmm. And he fucking did it. So it's hard as an MMA fan to go against him.
Yeah.
I get it if you're a true boxing fan. And I'm not a true boxing fan. I watch some fights, but I'm not. But it's like, man, he's done it so many times, and the only time he lost was against Nate on a couple-day notice, and it was like, and he was rocking Nate. It's just that he ran out of gas.
Yep.
And it's, oh, dude, I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be so. I hope it's gonna be great, but if he gets, the only way I see him losing, like TKO or something, is like he gets tired and like Mayweather just beats him down and doesn't necessarily knock him out, but he just tires him out.
I don't know though. Conor's got pretty good cardio, I think.
I think that's what he's been focusing on the most.
Yeah. I think he'll be ready to go all 12 rounds.
Yeah.
My thing is, if like with Floyd, it takes him a couple rounds like to figure somebody out.
Usually like
once he figures them out.
2 to 4 rounds.
So that's why Conor's got to come out and just fucking brawl in the beginning, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the game plan I would put together, but who am I?
Yeah, right. And you don't see boxers come out with that unorthodox style like karate / whatever.
Right.
And
it's all different angles, head movements, footwork. It's going to take a while to adjust to, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's only a fucking next Saturday.
I would love to see. I would just love it. I'd love to see all the haters just fucking eat their words.
Mm. He'd be like the most hated and loved fighter ever. Boxing fans would hate him. It would make boxing look foolish.
Yeah, really.
I don't know.
I either want to see that or I want to see him getting beat up, Conor getting beat up real bad, and then just fucking head kick him.
Oh, he said, I think Floyd was on.
He would lose. I saw something. He would lose like $90 million if he head kicked
90%.
Yeah,
he was
so
on.
If he makes $100 million, that'd be 90 million.
Yeah, Floyd was on. Not Jimmy Fallon, the other one, Jimmy Kimmel. Floyd was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Kimmel asked him what would happen. He's like, I don't think Conor wants to lose 90% of his money.
Yeah.
Which, who the fuck would? But when it comes
I
down
lay
to like,
my elbow on your eyebrow, lay it across your eyebrow.
Yeah. I like him. There's a lot of MMA fans that don't even like him.
Yeah.
But who the fuck are they? I don't know. I can't.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Next Saturday, well, I guess we'll do a podcast before that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of, I mean, that's all media is going to be talking about next week.
It's getting so interesting.
Yeah. It's like every day there's something new. They're so smart. Like, not just the promotion in general. Dana White leaking those videos. Like, just
yeah, definitely. That was definitely a good move.
Yeah.
Because that's all you've heard about.
And yeah, because Paulie was saying that
shut up about it.
Oh man, on Twitter, that's all every like 20 minutes he's responding to someone like all day and night. I'm like, what the fuck? Does he sleep? He's like, he's all
he had ulterior motives though, because now he wants a fight.
Oh, for sure. I don't even think you should be calling the fight in a way. I think he's biased, like hugely. I think like Paulie, the problem is Paulie said he pushed me down. Before we ever saw the videos, I remember him saying that. Yeah, and because of the picture. He's like, yeah, he pushed me. To me, even if he was holding his head and he fell because of that, that wasn't necessarily a push. No, to me, I was when he said that he pushed him, I'm thinking like he actually like pushed him.
Yeah.
But it was a combination between maybe he was holding his head, but he also punched him.
Right.
It was,
and then they said they edited it. How the fuck do you edit that to make it look like that? Like
he said that like 100 times. Oh, they're like pro editors. Like it wasn't an edit. They just took the clip and they fucking showed it to us.
He's fucking retarded. Yeah. He's so retarded.
And I thought the video before that was better. Like the knockdown was fine. Like that was an okay video, but you could tell that Conor didn't necessarily hit him real hard. But I feel like that the video before that when he fucking had straight left came down the fucking middle, jolted his head back.
It was just that whole thing has been comical.
Yeah,
and he said they were using him for their own for their own gain.
Well, that's what. And Paulie's
promoting Conor.
Yeah, and Paulie, if you watched all the press conferences, Paulie said in one of the interviews after that, he's like, "I'm gonna go there. It's gonna be a fight." Paulie said that, not Conor.
Yeah, because he talks shit.
And Paulie said that we're going to train hard like a real boxing fight. This is what we do. We fight. And then Conor said, well, he's going to answer for his words. And Paulie knew what he was getting into. And then he fucking whatever. I don't know.
He's a bitch.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm kind of sick of hearing about him. He's getting so popular. No one fucking knew his name before this.
That's what I posted that one time. Conor needs to start collecting some promotion fees from him.
Did you listen to Conor's phone call yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Conor
with Ariel or
no? They just had like one of the media where everyone calls in, and then he's on one line, and all the media asks questions, and they asked him about Paul, and he's like, "Join the queue." He can join the queue of fighters that wants.
Yeah,
like everyone wants to fight him, of course. He's the one,
especially if he wins.
Yeah,
if he wins, then everybody's like, "Damn, he beat Floyd Mayweather. I want a shot at that."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like you said earlier, you want to see the Paulie fight. That's going to bring in more money than an Nate Diaz fight, only because you're getting boxing fans and UFC fans.
Right. Because then then it'll become like a headhunt trying to who can take Conor McGregor down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because before this, Mayweather has all right, just boxing fans. When Mayweather fought Pacquiao, that was the biggest pay-per-view ever. UFC, it doesn't matter, ever. So there's a lot of boxing fans.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can get that crowd and the UFC crowd, that's why this fight's going to be so huge.
Yeah. Agree.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I love it. That's what everyone's talking about this fucking racist shit. I'm just like, I'll just watch this video. Yeah. I don't want to hear about that shit right now.
Oh, there's another thing. Bring the race thing back into it.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, yeah, this is the white versus the black now.
Floyd saying that. Floyd said that.
Fucking retarded, man.
Floyd said that. Yeah. I'm like,
God,
that makes me more, like you said, I'm not racist, but when someone says that, it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, right.
And they know that he knows that.
Defensive.
I don't even think Floyd even means it. I think he just knows he wants to make it black versus white because he knows more people are going to buy the pay-per-view to see the white guy get knocked out.
Especially with everything going on right now.
Yeah.
It's like perfect timing.
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it?
That's weird, isn't it?
God, fuck.
Where's Alex Jones?
Yeah, right. I know. Get him in
the Floyd Mayweather fight. Floyd Mayweather fight was set up by the globalists.
Yeah. It's so
for world domination.
What if like Trump showed up to the fight with like an Irish flag and shit? Because they invited him to the fight.
I wonder if he's not going to go though.
No, I don't think so.
God,
not with all this heat. I don't think he can. Could you imagine? Jesus, because there's pictures of him with Floyd.
We'll see. Hillary Clinton hired Floyd Mayweather to fight McGregor, and it's all part of the globalist trying to take over the world and have sex slaves on Mars.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that sex slave thing on Mars, but I'm like, dude, that's so far out, I'm not even going to look that up. The only time I watch Alex Jones, literally, is if it's like a real subject about something that I really want to know about, but he's off in his own world most of the time.
Right.
Even Rogan, there's times that I think that he used, because I've watched him from the very beginning of his podcast, he used to have a much more open mind. And there's times now that I'm like, man, he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just like, it's all bullshit, or I don't know. And also YouTube, if you're on the right, YouTube's demonetizing a lot of YouTubers that are, again, like they got whatever algorithm, yeah. And if you're like a right news person, you're not getting money anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did to that one Steven Crowder guy. That's why he started his the Mug Club
Patreon, basically.
Yeah.
It sucks.
So he still throws some stuff on free content on YouTube, but if you want like the daily show, you have to sign up and
you know what? I'm not gonna pay, because someone like Rogan puts all his shit up on or iTunes and Stitcher for free, and he still has his own views, or I guess, but I'm just not gonna pay any of those guys when there's so much free content out there.
Right.
I'm just not. Even the guy that's always on Jim Norton's podcast, Anthony Cumia, he has his own network, but you got to pay to watch it.
Yeah.
And I like him, but I'm not gonna pay.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's. I don't know. You can make money off sponsors and shit. You don't need to take the money from the people. And
with that note,
yep.
we don't charge either.
Yeah. At this rate, it's going to be a while.
I gotta get to bed. I got a funeral to go to tomorrow.
Oh, so you're not working tomorrow?
No, I didn't work today either. I had a viewing.
Is it family or
Michelle's grandmother?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Well, that's another. Let's bring that topic up. Okay, so Saturday, get the call that she's going into the hospital. She's not doing good.
Mm-hmm.
They thought she was dehydrated at first, so that's why they took her to the hospital. Well, she gets there, and certain levels are high, white blood cell counts high, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they start looking into things, and they figure out that she has this abscess on one of her intestines, and it's causing problems. So they tell her, we got to do surgery. We got to get this out of there. Well, her grandmother is 84 years old. I don't want surgery. I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. So she continues on, starts declining pretty fast. They start telling the family to get in there, be there with her because it doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they wait till she's intubated, not incubated,
mm-hmm.
intubated, and where she can't talk, she can't.
Right.
So then they decide to sign the papers themselves for the surgery. Her uncle and her aunt.
After she has no say.
After she already said she didn't want it. That's fucked up.
So they did it and it didn't work.
They did it. She comes out of it. And exactly what Rochelle was telling them happened. They didn't even close her up. They left her open. Like, that abscess burst, which then all of her stuff out of her intestines just went into her stomach. So it was like bile. So she became septic, got infection.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had to. So she's on life support. So then they had to make the decision to take her off life support after all that. Like, I don't understand. Like, I told Rochelle, you do that to me, I swear to God, I'm gonna haunt you. Like,
I didn't know you were allowed to do that. If she said no, why is it okay once you can't say no?
I don't know.
To do that.
Great. And Rochelle said, like, you can go to a lawyer and get a living will made, but then when you go to the hospital, they still ask you. Like, it means nothing. Like, they can, like Rochelle said, there's people that can come, and they'll ask them each time they come, do you want any of this life-saving medical attention if this goes wrong? Or, like, so that means nothing.
That makes no sense to me.
It's so wrong to me. Like, I told Rochelle. Rochelle was against it too, and her brother. Because it's like, that's the last decision you get to make about your life. Why just honor that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she suffered even more because
that's the last control you have over your life.
Right.
And then somebody takes it away from you.
So, and then you have to suffer because whether you feel it or not, you're still doing something.
It's fucked up.
It's because you're selfish. You're thinking about, you're not actually thinking about that person. You're thinking about what you
feel,
what you want.
Right.
Same thing.
And then they didn't even know. Like, they were clueless. Like, she's on life support after the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle's like, Mom, you can end this at any time. And she's like, oh, well, what do you mean? She's like, she's on life support right now. You can just pull the plug and let her go. Oh, no, she's just recovering. They had no clue.
Or she wanted to believe that.
It's crazy.
She probably had a clue. She just didn't want to believe that she, you know what I mean? You kind of want to hope and believe that. I don't know. I didn't know you could do that. I thought if you didn't agree with something, I didn't know that once you're out, they can just.
Michelle said it happens all the time.
I had no idea. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fucked up. Because I think that if you're, even when you're, what's it called? When you're dying, but they keep you in hospice. It's hospice. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like, why? To me, you should be able to stop it instead of wait until you like starve. Even though you're not awake or whatever, you're still starving, and you wait till they starve. And
yeah,
that's
that's just.
I mean,
that's
what happened to my grandfather. It's like it seems like you should be able to end it.
Well, and that's just like other things have happened, like with other family members. People, we've had family members that had strokes, and you could have decided just to let them go, but instead you get these procedures done, and then they come out of it, and then they have a poor quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
They're just miserable until they actually eventually do pass away. You know what I mean? It's just not right.
I don't want that.
No, me neither.
I don't want that at all.
I don't want nobody to have to take care of me and wipe my ass. And if it's, you know what I mean? Unless it's something that's like, yeah, you're definitely going to get better. It's going to just take some time.
Right.
With something like a stroke or something like that, where you've had brain damage and things like that, there ain't no guarantees that anything's going to change. Like,
well, even a stroke, like say you can't use your arm or something, that's a little different than like completely like.
Yeah, completely paralyzed, can't do anything.
Right. Because there is different levels of that.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of fucked up.
We've had members that like they couldn't even barely chew their food.
Yeah, my dad's best friend, his wife had a stroke young, like they were young, and still they're my dad's age, and she just still can't talk, and like,
yeah,
for both of them it kind of sucks, but she's still, you know, I wouldn't say like that she should have gone yet, but like,
yeah, but that should be left up to the person, in my opinion.
I do too.
If you say that before you go in, or you say that and then something happens to you, your wishes should be.
Well, what do you think? Like suicide, people that have jumped and then they live, they're like, thank God I lived. But at that time, they wanted to die.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a little different because they're not like disabled, and you know, it's a little different. Sometimes you live to the next day and you're glad that you didn't do what you did or that you were gonna do. But it's a little different when you're older and you're like sick and you ask them not to do something. That's completely different to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. I really didn't. Because I watch all those fucking. Well, I don't watch, but Courtney used to watch those hospital shows. What's that famous one? Grey's Anatomy. Mm-hmm. And they always like try to convince the person, like to the family members, you need to get in there and convince your family member to change their mind and have the surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always thought that person had to make the decision.
Yeah.
I didn't know that once they're like unconscious, you can make the decision for them.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that one.
But she's in a better place now.
Yeah, I agree. So. I agree. I didn't know that at all.
But on that note, such a cheerful note.
Yeah. Well, have fun. No, just kidding. See, I go there tomorrow.
Yep.
And next weekend I'll be down at your place, right?
Yeah, we're gonna watch him sleep him in the second round.
I hope so. I don't even care about the difference between boxing and UFC. We'll end on this. Is I care less about the prelims. I'm sure we'll watch it, but like boxing's so different where the prelims don't matter as much. Where the UFC tries to stack the whole card.
Yeah, yeah.
The boxing doesn't necessarily do that.
So.
But supposedly Mayweather is trying to make the prelims good too because it's his guys. We'll see. I can't wait. Next Saturday. All right. Well, we'll try to. What's today? It was Thursday. We'll try to do a podcast earlier in the week than this. I don't know. All right. We'll do it next week before the fight. And see if any more crazy shit goes on in our country.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not ending now.
No. So,
all right.
Stay classy, America.